Remember that.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Guess who's back? Back again. Horror Nights is back. Tell a friend. And so it is 27 days until Halloween Horror Nights. And so we've arrived at Studio Side's early park admission pass holders. More construction for scare zones has happened since the last time we were here 11 days ago already. Multi-night tickets, including Frequent Fear and Rush of Fear, went on sale yesterday. And the latest house, HHN Icons, was announced formally yesterday as well. There's new merch, there's new props. We're gonna take a spin and check it all out. All while it's relatively quiet on the attendance front because it's so early as we try to avoid the COVID. All right, we're walking into the park. Oh, it's a crow. It's a sign for Halloween Horror Nights. If you know, you know. How ironic and iconic. Like I was saying, you walk into the main entranceway here and look at this. This is the 30-year scare zone. It looks amazing. Last time we were here, they only had this truss up. They've added lights. Looks like things for fire. We've got some decorations. So it does look like we got a little mini stage here. I imagine we'll have characters here, so they will be closer to people than we had thought initially. And in case these graphics look familiar, this was kind of left over from last year. So the director has a baby carriage right now, but this is gonna be awesome. One word to describe this, and that's massive. Chance represented, Usher, Storyteller, Eddie, Lady Luck. Mary is saying these are great spots to hide. Boo-hole wise, streets. Oh man. And as far as house placement goes, for the sound stages, the lineup should be from left to right: Bride of Frankenstein, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Tooth Fairy, and HHN Icons captured, with the entranceways being down that way. Now Jimmy Fallon, that's really scary. Now the Jurassic World store is wrapping up, and we'll have brand new Halloween Horror Nights tribute store here shortly. So you make your way over to New York, and this is Searchin', Seek and Destroy. Unfortunately, not Metallica related. Maybe one day we'll get something Metallica or Iron Maiden related, but this is not that day. We've got the additional barrels added here in multitude. More decorations around this truck, including this set design piece, which is actually repurposed from the Raptor meet and greet. This was used before the Raptor meet and greet had its new permanent home. We've got some wonderful blood-like liquid in these containers and in this truck. And I believe this truck was screen used in Jurassic Park: The Lost World. So it's been repurposed, as most things are at Horror Nights. More set pieces for Seek and Destroy. Very Frankenstein-y like tubage being used there. And that's Amore. And that's also tower number 2. Streets of New York. How fun. That connector actually looks like a lightsaber prop. And one of the bigger decorations that they've added to this zone above the Palace Theater. Submit to the controller. And above Finn's, the controller sees all. The controller is like Santa Claus. Or my wife. That's the Defender of the Planet, the arcade game that will save the Earth. So heading back towards San Francisco, we've got the Crypt TV zone and a lot of props out here now. This was home to the greatest scare zone of all time, Rob Zombie. Now Crypt TV, look at this. Everything and the bathroom sink. We've got more stuff. Oh my. Stuff. Pretty elaborate looking stuff. Look at that giant spider. But first, beware. That looks awesome. Take a walk around the inside here. Whoa. Holy shnikes. I think we got to spend some hardcore time this weekend catching up on Crypt TV. There's another one of these things here. I wonder if this will be like a TV in here showing some of the stuff. And you can see on the back of that prop that I thought maybe was a TV, there's the logo for Crypt TV. Please, do not climb. It's like a big smiley face with a big nose, right? Like 2 eyes, smile, giant schnoz. HHN pigeon. That's how you're gonna walk around the park with your head bobbing. And they have added these lighting trusses up here towards London and Harry Potter with string lights going through there. And I'm imagining this is just to illuminate this area while people traverse back and forth to the back of the park during horror nights, because historically this is pretty dark. It's also really slippery when it rains out. And it's Diagon Alley. So much air conditioning over in this way. By the way, nothing happens here for Halloween other than the rides working and the shops being open. That never gets old. This is glorious while it's empty like this. It's 8:30 in the morning, too early for a breakfast beer. So we've got the bus.
Hey, what's going on there?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, you know, just hanging around.
Huh?
Hey, what's your name right there?
My name is Mary.
Mary, what's happening?
Hey.
And who do you got with you here, Mary?
Kyle.
Kyle, what's going on, Minnow?
Hey, you know,
So where are we visiting from?
Orlando.
Woo, the mystical tropical place of Orlando, Minnow.
Yeah.
And you flew your brooms here today?
Yep.
She flew her broom.
Oh, yeah, Minnow? Were you riding in the back? Yeah?
Yeah, I was
That's great, Minnow. What's the plan for today? What's the plan?
checking out Halloween Horror Night props
Ooh, yeah, that sounds spooky.
in the Muggle Land.
Yeah, I don't really have, you know, the courage to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
as you can see, I have no guts. Yeah, you know.
Heading back towards Fear Factor. The big marquee here, covered up. It's wrapping paper. Supposedly not a Jack show at this point, but instead a magic show. A magic show. Men in Black extended queue back there. Welcome to Scary. Springfield. Oh, how I would love for this to go back to being Back to the Future. Duffman says, #soon. As mentioned in our last video, the Lagoon Show is back this year. It's really popular last Halloween Horror Nights. I know some folks that have seen this in testing now. Word is, it's really good again this year. For me, it's a place to stop and have a beverage and relax for a minute. But I know some people really love that show. Wow, almost completely empty back here. Home of the pizza fries. So just cross-pollinate this video a little bit. Hollowscream, as they've been announcing houses, they've also been announcing bars and drinks and all kinds of goodies. I wish they would do that here and kind of unleash what they have in store for us. I'll head through Central Park. Lighting trusses up. So as far as what they have out here now, really just speakers. This is the Terra Queen zone. Speakers and lights. And a lot of speakers. I guess they just dump them here and they'll space them out a little bit. And the rumor was there would be some type of mini show here, potentially. And finally, you have the Eddie Zone. Not Iron Maiden Eddie, unfortunately. Scooby-Doo and the gang. So nothing really out in this area yet. Just lighting. We'll duck into the prop store here for a minute. Leftover from last year from the Scarecrow hunt. 3,500 bucks. Can be yours. Oh, a little bit of everything. Visual prop, 250. 3,500 as well. Or you can go cheap. $2,000 for this guy. You can get Universal Monster Pogs. Over to the 5 and Dime to check out any new preview merchandise. And here it is. 30 years, 30 fears. The house that was announced this week. And they've got graphic socks. And they've got these McDonald-esque juice glasses. Horror Nights blood-soaked popcorn. And so 30 years, 30 fears. I like the shirt a lot, except the fact that it's a ringer. I hate ringer shirts. But this house is basically our celebration house. All of the icons. And I mean all of them. They got a lot of the shirts in stock. And they also have 30 Years of Fear buttons. Those are cool. We still have the Beetlejuice shirt, not the sublimated one that I'm still wanting. I'm back as the host of the event. Hill House. The Bride of Frankenstein house shirt. Oh, look at those bags. Some new art pieces. The gang's all here. Except they're trying to sell the Creature from the Black Lagoon. And he can be yours for only $25,000. Well, we've pretty much seen it all now. We've never been in this store in the last 20 years of living here. So it's mostly like Panama Jack stuff in here. Not necessarily all hats. You can get classic logo hat here. And it's kind of like these dragons are throwing up these lights like, Monsters Cafe is back open again. They're just not open now. You can see what they have here. Vegan jackfruit sandwich. Making one last go around in the Jurassic Park store. And they have churro candles. Those are cute. So, what do they do with all this stuff when this place closes down? I think much of it goes in the regular gift shops, and I'm sure some of it will end up at the garage sale. So cool. I think the problem with having this place look as cool as it does is what can they do for Halloween Horror Nights this year? I mean, they really set the bar high here. Oh, we're in here by ourselves. I love that cryo can. I love all of the weathering. I hope they move some of this stuff into the Discovery Center in Islands. Please respect them. So while we sit for a moment and enjoy a refreshing beverage on this hot and humid morning, I did want to say again that all tickets that they're going to put on sale are on sale now. So Frequent Fear Plus, Frequent Fear Plus Express, Rush of Fear Plus Express, everything that is normally for sale is for sale. And they're also selling the additional ability to stay and scream if you're not a daytime guest. By stay and scream means that you have a daytime ticket and you also have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket, so they have holding pens so that you get a jump on the action earlier than when the park reopens for Horror Nights, which usually gives you like about a half an hour to 45-minute jump on the regular crowds. Not all of the houses are open during Stay and Scream, but a chunk of them are, and you could probably knock out like 2 or 3 houses. If you don't do Express and you expect to come here and get everything banged out, the lines can stretch sometimes like 2-3 hours for a house, for one house. So we did the Frequent Fear Plus Express for the event, and the cost increase from 2019 to now, because we didn't have anything last year, was about $70 difference. So there is a jump in cost, and that's to be expected. But as far as limitations and everything that people thought, like, you know, maybe they're not going to have frequent fear, and they also have an ultra fear pass, which is literally every day of the event. But that plus express, I think, is like $800. But getting back to limitations, they cut nothing. So I fully expect there to be stay and scream at this point. I expect full capacity. There's nothing mentioned so far about masks being used in any of the buildings, although I think that may change because of the way COVID is surging here. But I expect the parks to be absolutely bonkers packed for Halloween Horror Nights this year. There is such a pent-up demand. And so we've had all of the IP-related houses announced, and then also the Halloween Horror Nights Icons house. There are still some more to be announced, and that should be forthcoming, I think, over the next week. They tend to be doing announcements on Thursdays at this point. With that said, I believe the ticket announcement was supposed to take place last Thursday, and they hit the pause button a minute because of the COVID surge and the announcements that, like, the staff members are back to wearing masks at least, but not the guests. So I don't think anyone knows what's to come over the next month because, quite honestly, Orlando and Florida having the most COVID cases since inception of COVID this last week over the following week. We're averaging like 19,000 cases a day now. And before we get into a spiraled argument of, but did you die, bro? We're not talking about that here. We are talking about the fact that this is a very contagious strand, and if you're not taking precautions and you have everybody bunched together, in all likelihood, and I want to be honest, you're probably going to come out of Halloween Horror Nights either with COVID or knowing somebody that has COVID. And that is with or without your vaccination. So if you're vaccinated, hopefully you have COVID in a less of a severity. Don't have your vaccination, you may be one of the folks that are packing into the hospitals at this point because they are at capacity in the area. And that's not a preachy moment, that's just a reality moment that we are kind of combining a very detrimental chocolate in my peanut butter type moment with these two things converging at the same time. HHN icon. In the Betty Boop store, you can get inspired jewelry. Look, Emma Stone wore something that looks just like that. Only $56. Well, you can get the ring that Princess Di wore for $82. Or Meghan Markle. Or Kate. Everything in this case, collectively, for under $300. And then you can be a princess. Oh, and you can also save 15%. 15 cents too. Oh, they have a bunch of cases with all of this stuff. Oh, you could have the same ring as Marilyn. Or Miss B. J-Lo. Lady Gaga. Come to Universal Orlando for all of your bootleg jewelry needs. I've said this for years, but I wish they had these Hello Kitty shirts for men. I think they're fun. And the Pass Holder Lounge opens in 35 minutes, but people online already. The Pass Holder pin this month ties into Halloween Horror Nights as well, but I am not waiting around 35 minutes outside for it. If you stick around until 7 o'clock tonight, the Superstar Parade is led by Olympians. We, however, will not be waiting here until 7. We're off for hot dogs and to enjoy the rest of our park-free day, but soon, Mel's Drive-In becomes Mel's Die-In. They're playing Motley Crue Looks That Kill on City Walk. Way cool. Well, listen up! The parks are mighty packed. Oh, and now playing my sweetheart of all time.
Oh, Julia Lewis.
Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna stay on City Walk all day here.
I know, whoever's controlling the music is pretty awesome.
We've made our way over to the Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Admittedly, when this place opened, I said it wouldn't last like 6 months because who wanted hot dogs that were overpriced? But here we are, and I actually love this place now. All kinds of dogs from different baseball stadiums. There's a heavy glare here, but you can see the dogs from different stadiums. I'm gonna go Milwaukee because it's a bratwurst sausage, grilled onions, spicy mustard. And I think I might go with Detroit dog, which is a Kogel dog, coney chili, diced onions. Here's a better look at the offerings. an idea of what everything looks like and where it's from, and some very faded knickknacks, including my beloved Mets helmet, old school Devil Rays, and if you're going a la carte, or even if you're not, they have a full mustard bar here. And you've got chairs from the historic ballparks. Most importantly, Shea Stadium right there, lower level, orange seats. This is what we've got. Mary's got a New York dog with sauerkraut and fries. This is supposed to be a sausage from Milwaukee with onions and mustard. And this is a Detroit dog with chili and onions. And we're not going to show ourselves jamming these hot dogs in our mouths because that's freaking disgusting. Mmm, crispy, tasty, almost delicious. Well, we're back home from Universal. The hype is intensifying for Horror Nights, as well as the concern over the current situation of the state. And like I said, they don't run independent of each other. So it'll be interesting to see where we are in another 3 weeks. Hopefully, the majority of us, the hardcore Halloween Horror Nights folks, will be either staying on site or staying in line for Horror Nights to start. I keep forgetting to mention the fact that there's a big thing happening at Cabana Bay as well. So Cabana Bay has both a Horror Icons bar that'll be set up with specialty drinks based off of the Halloween Horror Nights icons, as well as last year they did a Stranger Things, or not last year, 2 years ago, they did a Stranger Things kind of pop-up event in one of the conference rooms or ballrooms next to the bowling alley, which was fantastic, where you had different props and things that you could do photo ops with and things. They're doing the same thing this year with Jack, with like the blender included and some other notable Jack surroundings. And that is open to anyone that's staying on site at Universal. It doesn't have to be staying on site at Cabana Bay. You could be staying at any of the Universal hotels. If you're not staying on site, that is not available to you. So on that note, we're getting out of here. Thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. We'll see you guys. Subscribe to the cheap seats. Otherwise, he'll be looking in your dreams for you.